Okay. You must have received my uh my link earlier. Yeah, I sent you the link to my playlist. Yeah, playlist. So in case you miss any of the lecture video, you can go to the playlist, which list every videos I record for cyber law class. Yeah, it is in one place. You go to the playlist and then it has a list. And instead of going to individual link, yeah, you may not know the whole collection. Yeah, so by going to the playlist link, you can see the whole collection and you can check the video from time to time. Okay, let us now start. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We look at this blog and it will tell you what we're going to cover. All right. Next topic is cybercrime, topic 8. And if you realize, we have split privacy and data protection into 3 topics, yeah? 5, 6, 7. I mean, ideally speaking, it is separable, yeah, to discuss in few sessions, which we already did with some modifications. But now we have these 2 topics actually interrelated. One is cybercrime. The other is, as you see here, topic 9, cybersecurity and cyber war. Okay, actually the 2 are quite interrelated. Cybercrime and cybersecurity and cyber war. Why interrelated? Because in these both topics, we are talking about those activities or actions committed by people that may harm a computer system, computer assets, yeah, and causes or leads to a criminal activity, yeah. But the second one, of course, is more on the security as well as international dimension. But let us now look at the first one here. Topic cybercrime. As you see, the first part, what is cybercrime and how is it different from conventional crimes? Right. This is an important starter. Yeah, starter. I believe all of you during your undergraduate study have learned criminal law, isn't it? Law of crime. So whatever you learn under law of crime, including the basic concept, the elements, you remember, under common law principle, there is, yeah, mens rea and actus reus. Actus reus and mens rea. Okay. All will apply. So nothing is different, yeah. So all the concept of cybercrime will still apply. Wait just 1 second. I'm getting my earphone here. So whatever concept and elements as well as the rules and principles that you learn under law of crime in the past would still apply. Can you hear me now still?
Yes,
Loud
bro.
and clear? Thank
Yes,
you.
bro.
So I'm not going to repeat those, yeah, about what is crime, how crime should be determined by state, and then the elements, actus reus, mens rea, the element of intention, the element of action, all needs to be there. So this doesn't change a bit. This doesn't change at all. That's why the question is very important. How is it different from the conventional crime? Conventional crime, we refer to this as all those crimes before, other than cybercrime. So first, we need to highlight what is cybercrime. Cybercrime, sometimes in different statutes, will be named differently. For example, in Malaysia, we call it computer crimes. I mean, the Statute Computer Crimes Act. in Singapore as well as UK, they call it computer misuse. Yeah. Notably, the word crime is bigger than the word misuse of computer. So literally there could be difference, but yet in practice, sometimes they are just interchangeable. What you mean by computer misuse is what we mean by computer crime over here. So computer misuse in Singapore is computer crime in Malaysia. And I think another either in Australia or in China, there is this legislation. They use the name of cybercrime rather than computer crime or computer misuse. So it doesn't matter. We are talking about those types of criminal activities in which there is involvement or the use of computer system. Okay, computer system. The computer system here has been widely defined include any other computer system as long as it is, you know, electronic, electromagnetic, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So we have this definition of computer crime under the Computer Crimes Act, yeah, which is wide enough to include any activities, criminal activities involving the use of the computer technologies. So now we are talking about mobile gadgets. We're talking about online sensors. We're talking about facial recognition sensors, about wearables, about Internet of Things, so many different gadgets. But the uh, lying principles are the same. It is about computer technologies, computing technologies, and with some algorithm, computing algorithm being involved. Yeah. So this is the word computers that had been attached to this crime. So cybercrime is any crime in which there is a use of computer technologies. Okay, so that is basically what I want to highlight. I'll show you the slide after this. The only thing is that when you talk about the use of computers, there are a variety of levels and involvements of computers in the cybercrime itself. In some cybercrime, some types of cybercrime or computer crimes, computers are being used as the medium, yeah. So it is not really about attacking the computer itself, but computer used as a medium. For example, cyber fraud, online fraud. Yeah, the crime is a fraud. Why is it called cybercrime or online fraud or cyber fraud? Because the fraudulent activity is executed, yeah, by the medium of computer technology. How is that? For example, you send messages using direct or instant messaging services, or you use email technologies or websites or blogs or even social media, yeah, to launch your fraudulent activities. So this is a cyber fraud because the fraud is executed using the cyber medium or cyber technologies. But there is another class or another type of computer crime in which the computer is not used as a medium, but rather the computer is the target of the crime. The target of the crime. So for example, yeah, someone attacking other people's computer by sending malicious software, malware. Yeah, someone was presenting about malware, right, in the past. Was it Aljana, if I'm not mistaken? So
It was me, Prof.
I'm presenting on cybercrime. So this is cyber security.
okay. So who was that? Thank you, Aljana. Who was that? Kisra,
It was me, Kisra.
Kisra, yeah. Malicious software. sending virus, sending ransomware, worm, yeah. So this is an act of crime. Why? Because by doing that, you cause damage to people's property. Yeah. And this is wrong. This is not only a civil wrong, it is a crime. So this is cybercrime because the computer is being attacked here. Not only you use the computer as medium, but actually the computer itself is being the target of the attack. So when you see the classification of cybercrime, there are generally speaking, the two classifications. Yeah, some writers make it 3 classifications or even more. It's okay. They are being creative, but basically, if you read them, still these are 2 different aspects of computer crime. One where the computer is being the medium only, the medium of the crime. Yeah. Second, when the computer is being the target of the crime. All right. And how is it different from the conventional crimes? Not only the medium and the method is different, yeah, but there are in many ways, yeah, they are different. Yeah. For example, in terms of the nature of the crime, the pattern of the crime, even the perpetrators of the crime, yeah, you can actually see some characteristics involved when it comes to computer crime. Yeah. Computer crime is being, there's some writing saying, who are these people who launch computer crime? Number one, there are people who simply because they know about computers, so they want to give a try. So it is called an adventurous criminal because they can play with the technology. They may not necessarily have a criminal mind or criminal objective, you know. If you are a hacker, and hacker here means professional hacker, you know, someone who is able to intrude into computer systems. These people, if they don't have anything else to do, they will come into computer and try people's computers. They want to check whose computer, which company has a weak system. He will go around and check. So sometimes he would be able to enter into the system. For example, he want to check IIUM system. So maybe maybe you and me, we don't know where to start, isn't it? You go IIUM website, so you want to know where to start in order to get into the internal system. You don't know, but these people, of course, they know there are some codes, some language. They in order for them to know where the gate is, the gateway, where is the entrance. Then from the entrance, you try to, for example, check how strong the password is, or is it properly done, and so on. Yeah. Talking about password, because there are passwords which are by default set by computer system, isn't it? That's why when you start having some system, they will want you, or you register something online, and then you get an account, they will want you to change the password, isn't it? Just like you get a PIN code from bank for the ATM, they want you to change the PIN number the first time you use the ATM. Why? Because it is by default. The password is set by default. And there is algorithm how to get that password. So if you don't change that default password, someone else may be easily getting into that password and using it to enter into your system. Yeah. There has been every year a list of the world's worst password. Let me just check. You bear with me. Every year, yeah, the list of world worst password. We can learn. Can you see what is the worst password? Look, this is updated from time to time, and they have references who is doing this survey. This is a survey, actual survey. Can you read what is the worst number one password?
The numbers, Prof.
You see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why is that? That means this is still a very popular password globally. Yeah.
I did it.
Some people are just too busy to change password, or even too busy to think about password. So that be it. Just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then some password require more than 6. Okay, go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then you see number 4. Do you see what password for number 4 is? The top worst number 4. The password is password. Because the computer says write your password. Then yeah, too lazy to think. Just write password. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 7, 8. Then you see 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh my god. Then there's QWERTY, ABC 1, 2, 3. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I'm afraid there is 0 inside his head. So he can only give 0. So I don't know. For us, we live with this, From time to time we have to think about password. So I have some advice how to make good password, and I used to share it to my friends, and they all like it because it is quite customized. I will share with you next time. So brothers and sisters, what I'm trying to show is that these people, even if you have good password, they still can break it. What more if you are simply using this kind of password? Of course, whatever they do, it is still an offense. It is still wrong, but you must retrospect and see what have you done in order. Just like you want to buy the padlock for your house fence, you have option either to buy good one, standard one, or the very cheap one, the economic one, and so on. So what you pay, what you get. Yeah, what you pay is what you get. Yes. So really interesting. So we have this more. You see, this is the range between 2011 and 2019. You see, at the top there, the top two, it never changed. Yeah, the top two never changed. Then you have many others. Then you say, okay lah, I'm not going to be too foolish or too stupid to use this kind of passwords. So what do I do? Let me think about it. What about my first child birthday? Who is here using the first child birthday to be his password? Okay, don't tell me if it is you. Yeah. We all use this. And to these people, they actually learn that there is this pattern. Yeah. There is this pattern people use in order to be created as password. So let me get back to it. That so much that we want to fight against cybercrime or computer crime, then you will realize that it is very much also going to be affected or influenced by what we have done, what we have contributed as end users, as well as the administrators. For example, in IIUM, the administrator of IUM will have some role, yeah, to educate people about this computer security. So to tell people, to tell IUM students and staff to make sure you have good password and so on. Not only password. Password is only one issue. There are other things. So this is exactly what was mentioned by Susan Brenner. Okay, this is the first article I'd like to share with you. Kindly go to this link. Yeah. It will give you a very beautiful article from Susan Brenner. Try to get, I believe there is somewhere it's an online, yeah, see, download this paper. Yeah, it can be downloaded, yeah, directly. Susan Brenner from Harvard University. She wrote this paper in 2005, Distributed Security, Preventing Cybercrime. So in this article, she was actually telling us how the cybercrime is different in nature, in characteristics from the conventional crime. And consequently, she is sharing with us how should we act accordingly. She came up with this idea of distributed security. Actually, this is a technical term, yeah, distributed security, in which the fight to prevent and to address cybercrime should also be a distributed attempt. By distributed attempt here, she actually promotes or argues that everyone must play their role. You do not wait until cybercrime takes place and you suffered loss. Then only you make a police report and hope that police can simply solve it for you. It doesn't work like that. Yeah. Unlike in normal crime, you don't normally report until you don't normally act until something happens, and then you report to police and hope that police can do the investigation. In most cases, when cybercrime happens, and then you take little bit time to go and report and try to get the police to start investigation, in most cases, this could be already too late. Why? Because remember, this is all about cybercrime. The evidence in electronic format could be easily altered. Yeah, even though now we have the forensics increasingly able to, to deal with computer evidence better, in a better way than before, but yet still this is, like a race against the technology. Sometime when the police already equip themselves and train with computer forensic skill and everything, and then you realize the cyber criminals are already upgraded already upgraded their skill. So it is like, cat and mouse situation, never ending. So I'm back to this Susan Brenner's case. Please find your time to download and read this article. It will give you an understanding, a clear picture of how cybercrime is so different from the conventional crime. Therefore, it requires a coordinated and distributed attempt. Yeah. Not only we wait and then get the police to deal with that, but from the very beginning, we try to create this security ecosystem. For example, just now, how the end users create their password. Then how the system administrator, for example, in IIUM, in workplace, or in any other organizations or workplace, should keep on educating the people as well as putting some measures, yeah, as a matter of prevention. And then we have some agencies who are tasked to provide technical support, yeah, and many more. This article will tell you how we can distribute the jobs in the society so we can minimize, yeah, the threat of cybercrime. For your information, in the latest article by WAF, World Economic Forum, they have every year a summit, yeah, in Europe. They showed the 2020 summit. They showed the biggest threat to humanity. Yeah, there is a list of the biggest threat to humanity. For example, starting from the issue of terrorism, and then there is an issue of natural disasters. Yeah. Then there is an issue of corruptions. Then there is an issue of poverty, and so on. And you see at the top 10, either number 6 or 7, there is an issue of cybercrime. You can check later on, just take note. WEF, World Economic Forum, on the top threat to the global society, global humanity. Yeah, there is always an issue of cybercrime. Why is that so? Because now we have increasingly dependent, or our life is increasingly dependent on these cyber infrastructures. I wrote recently an article how during this COVID-19 pandemic, the numbers of security threat has risen to the extent of threatening public infrastructures and even creating, the good source for cyber terrorism. Yeah, I'm going to share with you after the class. So with this addition, with this increase of dependency and reliance, we know that securing cyberspace is very, very important. It's a critical necessity of today. Yeah. So let me get back to this outline. Actually, this covers the rest of the questions here. We mentioned what is cybercrime, how is it different from conventional crimes, then what are the challenges in enforcing cybercrimes, for example, in terms of evidence, in terms of tracing, and because also the anonymity of the criminal. Then remember the global nature, extra jurisdictions, and there is no one single strong convention about cybercrime. That is also an issue, a problem. And also the human resource is still catching up. Yeah. Mr. Sundar, can you share with us? Can you share with us how, maybe just briefly lah, can you share with us how Police Department, Malaysian PDRM is catching up with the issue of cybercrime?
Yes, Prof. We have a certain unit.
In terms of education.
Yeah, recently we are trying to publish and to educate public to aware if they receive any informations like loan applications and this is what we call some scams which targeting certain communities, and these communities normally they doesn't have any knowledge of any what you call methods have been used. So that's why we are trying to facilitate all these people with a new kind of environment whereby we are trying to educate them the modus operandi of the scam, the modus operandi of these syndicated crime. We are using 100% via technology. such as telephone calls, WhatsApp,
Right.
uh, and the web page, and include the Facebook. So we are trying our best to educate, because sometimes you have difficulties to track them, where they are from.
Right.
Normally, we found out they are out from actually they are out from our country, and
Yeah, yeah.
base for another syndicate which is targeting our neighbors' country. This is how they operate.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we are going to face by educating the most important thing, the people. The
Right.
people must be aware such a kind of fake news, fake what do you call promotions.
Right.
So this is how we can do. We cannot
Ex-
100% completely stop the internet or the access of the social media.
Yeah.
Only education can change this environment, doctor.
Thank you. Thank you. Very beautiful. I mean, insights from the people in the field of the enforcement. That reminds me, Sundar, to a message I just received yesterday. Sorry, no, this morning. Let me read for you all the message, a text message I just received.
Yes.
Hi, yeah, hi, Chris here. Called you before. Actually, he never called me. I tried to check. He's just trying to make this. This is what they call as social engineering. Try to make to myself emotionally connected. Hi, Chris here. Called you before. HLB Bank. HLB must be Hong Leong, yeah. HLB Bank is offering you a personal loan up to RM 250,000. Please reply yes to this for further info. Of course, I ignored. Yeah. Uh,
Doctor, can I add
yes,
one thing, doctor?
yes, yes.
Normally, nowadays we receive in our web page, whenever we
Mhm.
try to Google, there's a small what do you call, a news will pop up, saying that Tony Fernandez so and so, Mahathir so
Mm.
and so, this is a scam, you know.
Right,
So
right. True, true.
they're trying to what do you call
Catch
uh,
attention.
make up the attention. Oh, some people they doesn't know about this. They hook up with these scam. So
Right.
important than education, doctor. That's all.
Exactly. Thank you. So if you imagine that this kind of message reach some people out there who are not so educated, who are so vulnerable, they got money, but they never, know about all this. So they may get curious about this, then they will start communicate with these people. And then the moment the communication starts, they will start to, give some bait, yeah, bait. Why don't we want to do this, then we want you to do this and this, and step by step, to some extent some people had to be, had to lose all the life saving in this kind of situations, and so many things. I think you can go back and read a lot of news stories in Malaysia or from Malaysia on this issue. All right, thank you, Sundar, for sharing.
Welcome, doctor.
uh, Yes, there is also an interesting question here. Should cybercrime be governed by an international law regime? This is what I like to highlight to you later. There's actually one convention, yeah, started in the European Union. Now it is considered international, but it is very limited membership, limited countries joining in. This is called Budapest Convention 2001, yeah. Budapest Convention on Cybercrime. Okay, cybercrime convention. Okay, Malaysia is not there. Only Philippines, yeah, in this region is a member to this Budapest Convention. I'll show you, maybe not today, and maybe in future, or later we'll see. So what would be the opportunities and the challenges, yeah, about this cybercrime? Okay, so this is basically what we want to cover. But later on, of course, we will look into a specific provision, and for the purpose of that, we will specify, or we will narrow down to the Computer Crimes Act. Yeah, Computer Crimes Act. But of course, this is in master level class. I really emphasize your deep understanding about this. Yeah, we don't want to simply read an act, just like what I did for you in privacy issue. We don't simply read the provision, because you can read the provision and you are all mature. This is not first time for you to read an act. So I need you to have a good understanding, a global view, as well as a bigger picture to the issue. Yeah, that's why um, we need to start like this. And I need you to look at this paper by Susan Brenner, yeah, on the distributed security. Read how the cybercrime is so challenging. Okay, and later on we'll see how we look into the example of Computer Crimes Act in Malaysia, right? So now, also I have this slide. I'm going to. I'll share you later. I'll share with you later. Can you see the slide now?
Yes, bro.
Yes, bro. Thank you. Yes, on computer crimes. As for the background, I think this is the same background I used for sharing with you about data protection, about privacy, yeah, because there are so many data around, and in each of these data is very valuable. And not only that, gadgets are also being synchronized. Every one person has at least two gadgets now: his computer or laptop and his mobile phone. And between laptop and mobile phone, they are synchronized, isn't it? The data in the mobile phone will also appear in the data in the laptop, or the other way around. So all these technologies development, as well as the big data, create such an environment where we are very information sensitive, and each of these piece of information can prove to be very valuable. So we require more protection. However, at the same time, we have this tendency to share too much, yeah, to share too much to people. These are all example of how much things being shared, yeah. Um, how the computers are being developed, things are being shared through social media. Yeah, never mind. So we have seen this. What happens in a minute, in internet minute? Yeah, lot of things are being shared. So this is you understand it, this the way that every technology, every development will have both um side effects. You want the technology to help humanity, of course. That is the beauty of the internet. We have this internet which has helped us in a lot of what we do, in learning, in working, in earning money, in helping people, in connecting, and so on, isn't it? And in developing the economy, and also developing in government, even in technology, in prevention crime, police use technology also. But at the same time, the use of the same technology will also bring some unintended effects. Unintended effects means that side effect which we did not intend in the first place. Yeah. For example, you allow one computer, one internet for every family. That is very good, isn't it? That's beautiful. That will increase the connectivity, the literacy, and so on. But at the same time, it also means that you start to pose the dangers and the harmful materials in the internet to the family, even to the young children, small children, you know, things that had never happened before. So now it can easily happen. Our children, our minors, they are now easily posed to you know uh, harmful materials that their older generation never saw with their eyes until they are adults. But now everything can be easily proven. So this is one way to understand that you want to get something, but you may not be able to entirely be free from this risk and unintended effect. Yeah, Malaysia wants to be a digital economy and more into digital government. So you start to what? You start to digitize all the documents, yeah, all the official documents being digitalized. You put everything on websites, yeah, which is good for public information, for freedom of information, for transparency, isn't it? But at the same time, it also now opens up rooms for, leak of official secret, for example, the leak of what should not be put in public, and then some government officers may negligently put things in public, and so on and so forth. So you see both intended effect and unintended effect. This slide shows you so much that in each of these initiative, um, use the cloud, using cloud as a storage, there is efficiency, but at the same time it opens up a security threat to this data, and so on and so forth, isn't it? So this is a given situation. You cannot simply uh, apa, do away with all this because you don't want these threats, isn't it? And this is a challenge we have to take if you want to be some steps ahead. Then you are ready to take the risk. And now the key is how to manage that risk. That's an issue. Just similarly, uh, we legally speaking, then we have to consider all those legal challenges and how to manage that situations. I think, including the cybercrime. Cybercrime is, of course, one of the unintended effect, big unintended effect when it comes to cyberspace. I think I mentioned to you earlier about this. Tun Mahathir Mohamad was saying how the internet now becomes a source of harmful materials, yeah, undermining public morality, harmful to children. But he was the one who basically promoted the first time the internet in Malaysia. He was the one who, I mean, as a leader, he opens up room for the world to enter into Malaysia and invest in the multimedia super corridor, getting Malaysia in the global information super highway. And without which maybe we cannot taste the level of development that we are currently testing. Yeah. Of course, you put aside the political side, the adventurous political side of Tun Mahathir. Other than that, but he had done great things for Malaysia and for people in Malaysia on this issue. But at the same time, he was very aware now very concerned that the internet has brought all these bad effects to the young. But that is, the evil, the necessary evil we have to take, and we have um, to manage, yeah, to manage, or maybe to eliminate. Here also the court, the judge, Rosila Yop in Dato Sri Anwar versus Muhammad Azri was saying about this. The about defamation, when it is published on the internet, it will be very widely circulated. Unlike the defamation pre-internet era, you only count like some hundred or thousand people will hear it or read it. But on the internet, yeah, if you have a good TikTok account, yeah, one one posting can be easily shared and seen by thousands of users. So see how powerful the internet is. Right. Also here, so I want you to really understand this kind of social impact of the internet before we really talk about computer crimes provisions one by one, section 1, section 2, and so on and so forth. But having this clear understanding of the socio-legal background, why these computer crimes become the big issue, and now number 6 or number 7 as the global threat to humanity now. And if you remember, I gave you this link, yeah, on the WhatsApp group, isn't it? Yesterday or before yesterday? Do you guys you had time to read it? The one I snap a picture from the Economist, yeah. You remember that? It was yeah. I was in this popular bookstore, and I browsed through this the Economist magazine, the latest one. Then they had this article by the title "Murder by Numbers." What does it mean? Numbers here means 100101. You see the illustration is that number. Actually, this represents the language of the computing technology. So it is all translated into 1001110. Yeah, the binary lah, the binary language between 1 and 0. So in other words, it's actually saying how the computer technology is now being used by culprits, by criminals to kill people. Yeah, to kill people. Yeah, we are not talking about using the internet to launch an attack, used for the weaponry system. No, but this article was saying about this incident that a hacker was um, attacking a hospital system in America, in the United States. Yeah, and because of that, it created outage in the hospital. And then people in the hospital, they need this computer system in order to proceed with their business of treating patients. There are patients who need this information system to be given a correct treatment, or if there is a surgery procedures, you need to get back to the computer system, get back to the data. And then in terms of giving prescription and so on and so forth, they all now depend on computer systems. Yeah, because the data are all there. No longer doctors will go back and open their logbooks to check, about all these medicines, about treatment, about data, and so on and so forth. They are all in the system. And now imagine if this system is down, is out of reach during these very important situations where doctors need to treat people. So I think in this article they mentioned that somebody died, isn't it? Somebody died because they were given somehow an inaccurate treatment. Yeah. However, it was revealed that actually the person did not intentionally attack the computer system of the hospital. Actually, they wanted to attack the university system, but the university has a hospital like UKM, yeah, they have a hospital. So the computer system of these two institutions are somehow connected or interconnected. So you attack this one, and then it leads to the outage of the other system. So that is what happened. If you read the story, it gives you clear explanation of how this attack, this threat of cybercrime can really affect humanity. Yeah. um Affect somebody to be killed. Yeah. And this was uh, and this kind of crime, we are not really talking about the situation of cyber war or cyber terrorism yet. We still talk about a person who wants to create problem in a system, but then end up creating a very big problem in the hospital system. So you see, this article was actually trying to say that the threat of cybercrime is real. It's real to the extent of killing people. Yeah, you can have a look to that article. I hope you could read it. I mean, it was clear enough to be read. Yeah. Okay. So just very quickly, I'll show you this one definition of computer crimes. Okay, we can learn about the definition from the Computer Crimes Act, definition of computer and computer network. So please read on your own. This is not, I mean, we are talking about these things, so just read for the purpose of accuracy, and you know where to refer to here under the Computer Crimes Act. So this one summarizes what I just said earlier. The involvement of computer or computer system in a cybercrime or in the computer crime, I fall under two categories, either computer as a medium or computer as a target. So you see examples there. Yeah, computer as a medium, like computer fraud, data theft, cyber harassment, cyber extortion, cyber pornography, etc. So you see the first top here, the first part, the law has been there. The law has been there, an established law in even pre-internet era. Yeah, except now the methods had developed. In the past, people cheat you by way of telephone, isn't it? Or maybe before that, people cheat you by way of writing. Write a letter saying that I'm so and so, please send me money. Actually, it was not that person. And then next time he came back, he was making phone call. Hello, I'm so and so, I need money, please send me the money. That is another fraud. And now they're using the message text, they're using the email. They are using the fake account of social media. Even now, they use deep fake methodology. You know, deep fake. Have you checked? Try to go to Google later on and check the word keyword deep fake. Deep fake is where they change. If, for example, you take my video, yeah, on YouTube, you edit my video, then instead of me speaking about my course, suddenly you see I was speaking in that video about something else. And this could not be wrong, you think, because because it sound like me. Yeah. So you cannot, in other words, you cannot suspect that this was edited. But actually it is edited. They use the method of deepfake. Why? How is that? They do in several techniques. Number one, they are able to imitate my voice. Number two, they are able to imitate my facial movement, yeah, so that they change the movement of my mouth and my lips as if I was actually speaking that words. Yeah. On YouTube, there is a popular deepfake video involving Barack Obama. Yeah, as if Barack Obama was saying something, but actually it was a deepfake. Someone else actually dubbing the voice, but to the extent of creating or resulting in similar sound, and as if the mouth is moving, according to what is being said. They did that because of the facial recognition technology. Yeah, so they are able to make the movement according to this is all the use of some artificial intelligence as well. Okay, so that is when the computer is used as a medium. The fraud is still the same fraud we are talking about, still the same pornography, porn materials, or extortion. Yeah, but now they use the method using the computer as a medium. Secondly, computer as target, for example, computer hacking, computer sabotage, spreading malwares, data modification. Someone intrude and then modify the system, modify the content, and so on and so forth. Okay, this is example, classifications of the computer crime. Now the law, this is just a survey, survey of what has been in place. For example, in the US, there had been one of the most popular computer crime legislation is CFAA, Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. Yeah, has been there for quite some time. Then there is the Electronic Communications Protection Act and Wiretap Act and Stored Communication Act. They are interrelated acts. Then controlling the assault of non-solicited pornography and marketing, or in short form, Can Spam Act, 2003. Then in UK, you have examples of this: Computer Misuse Act, Data Protection Act, Obscene Publication Act, Fraud Act. Just example, okay? You can go back to your own country and check what are the list of the computer crimes law. So you realize that computer crimes are not normally provided in one legislation only. Okay, and talking about the UK, the one here, Computer Misuse Act 1990, is the same legislation. It is the legislation that has been referred to by our legislators in enacting the Malaysian version of CCA, Computer Crimes Act 1997. Okay, Computer Crimes Act 1997 in Malaysia. Actually, it is inspired and based on the UK Act. So this is now in Malaysia. I take your attention into first we have Computer Crimes Act 97. Then other laws are also considered as laws that enact some types of computer crimes. Yeah, communications and multimedia, for example, especially about the illegal use of the computers, and as well as offensive content. Yeah. Then we have Copyright Act as the infringement of intellectual property. So, for example, of course, Copyright Act has been there even before the internet. Yeah, that's why in 1987 it's already there. But now you see people are infringing copyrights through the internet, isn't it? For example, If you remember, I don't know, especially Malaysians should know, there was this one very popular sequel of movie, KL Gangster, isn't it? So KL Gangster was a very popular movie. So they had a sequel of it. So at one point, when there was this latest sequel was about to come to the market, but before it was officially released to the cinema, then people somehow are able to watch them from the internet. So what happened was somebody was actually leaking the file to the internet. Can you imagine if you're the producer? Maybe you will be very much, very depressed to realize that all the works that you prepare, yeah, to get people to come to cinema and pay for you and and enjoy the work, then suddenly, yeah, many days or few days before it, already released to public, of course without royalty, without payment, and you cannot control. Yeah, so the person was very upset. I remember, I forgot the name of the producer, was very very upset to know that, and he pledged that I would never create or and would never produce any movie anymore in future. Check that in newspaper. A very depressing situation. So we have come this situation where copyrighted materials are so easily being infringed and being shared, yeah, in the internet. Then we have PDPA, I mentioned to you earlier. Then penal code, yeah, as what it is, even it is there even before the internet era, but now we still can use it, especially some provisions about the, criminal defamation, some provision about fraud, yeah, some provision about extortion, impersonation. So these are all still applicable in the internet era because the only method changes, but the elements will be still the same. Sedition evidence it's okay. So for the purpose of this topic, I would just highlight the first two, yeah, the first two, and as well for the exam, just the first two. After all, the other laws will be covered under other topics. Okay. So maybe I can give you a highlight of what this CCA 1997 is. There are few sections, but I want to take your attention to few only to some provisions. As you know that this CCA was based on the UK Act, similar Act, if you see later on, quite similar. Also Singapore, yeah. Also some parts like Hong Kong, especially these common law countries, they are good, yeah, in cooperating and trying to imitate one another. After all, if there is somebody already started, why should we recreate? Yeah, so good to follow, but always should be able to modify and to innovate further. So what happens in Malaysia? Actually, there hasn't been any amendment since the beginning, yeah, 1997. But I want to highlight to you few main provisions. The first one about the substantive offenses, yeah. We have actually four substantive offenses, yeah? Four types of offenses, four types of crimes. Yeah, but the first two are interrelated. The first two from section 3 and section 4 are interrelated by name of unauthorized access. Yeah, unauthorized access means someone get access into the computer system, which is not his, without authority. In other words, this is what we always hear: hacking. Somebody hacking my computer. Somebody hacking. So hacking actually is a very technical term, only used in technical situations, not really in legal terms. So it is not truly accurate to say hacking. Yeah? Hacking is technically about getting or intruding into the system, but it may be crime, it may not be crime, depending whether the elements of crime is or are fulfilled. So in order to know the elements of crime, you go to section 3 and section 4. Yeah, what is the difference between section 3 and section 4? Okay, listen very carefully. Section 3 is somebody who intrudes or he gets an unauthorized access. Let's say he was working in IIUM, yeah. Then he get access to the system that belongs to finance. finance department. I'm as a normal lecturer, I cannot access the financial department punya system, yeah, unless I'm authorized and because there's a code or password whatsoever, yeah, or maybe the HR system, human resource system, finance system, whatever system inside the IIUM computer system. So I cannot go to that because I don't have access and I'm not supposed to go there, you know. Uh, so if let's say I am going there without authority, so it is wrong. However, let's say I only go there because I want to test, you know, like I mentioned earlier, some people just like to test here and there, and they realize, oh, this is not strong, so you can get in, check, and but you didn't do anything bad, you didn't do evils. As I said earlier, maybe you didn't really have that criminal mind or criminal intention. Then you go out. However, the time you went in and you went out, it would normally be recorded. You know, it will be the log will be recorded, and in every computer system there is this computer log. Yeah, so the admin will be able to tell if in any certain time, certain date, certain hours, somebody entering into it. So he must be able, especially if he check. If he doesn't check, then gone unnoticed. But normally he would be able to check and see that there has been access to it. Then he will check the time. Oh, this is odd time, weekend. Nobody was using the system in the weekend, and it is no. And then you realize, and these people will realize that this was actually accessed by somebody who never been there, you know, and from some computers which are not within the system. Then it will be, you know, investigated. And if I am caught, this can be this is an offense because I didn't have authority. Yeah, the fact that I did not do anything wrong, it doesn't make it less offense, meaning it is still an offense, and this is an offense under section 3, yeah, which is an unauthorized access. Whatever your intention is, that you know that you enter into the area that you are not having authority, then it is wrong. Of course, mental element must be there lah. However, if the same person did this unauthorized access, and when he did that, he actually did something else to commit some further offense, then it becomes under section 4. Then it is covered under section 4. The difference is in terms of punishment, it will be harsh. But of course, under section 4, you will have to prove that he also did something else, not only entered the system. What is, for example, somebody entered into system and then what? He stole data, or he copied the data. This is wrong. Yeah, or he destroy some folders or some system. This is also wrong. This is a mischief under penal code. Yeah. Or after that, he create a document, a defamatory document, and send to someone else. So as if that person, I mean, that data has been sent by someone official. Well, actually, it is not, and that is also wrong. So if you have a proof that after the unauthorized access, the same person did another further offense, yeah, a further offense, that you can use section 4. Yeah, please check later on the wordings, and also the punishment is harsher, is bigger. Yeah, the fine and the imprisonment. Okay, I hope you understand with that unauthorized access. Then there is a second offense called unauthorized modification. From the word itself, modification means you create changes. You change here, you change there, you change the sequence of the content, or you delete some content, you add some content, or you change the color of the website, or sometimes you put more, some pictures. Yeah, people, for example, open a IIUM website, suddenly the first page, there is my picture like this. Wow, become popular. What happens? Somebody already posted a pictures. This is called modification. This is technically a modification. Whatever you do in order to change something, it is modification. And if you do this without authority, so this is an offense under section 5. Okay, remember, under section 5, unauthorized modification. So whatever changes, that includes somebody who sent a malware, a virus, Yeah, because some virus, I think Kesra had highlighted last time, some virus work differently. Yeah? Virus work differently. Some viruses, when you send, it will cause the destruction or maybe changes in the content. So you know that when you send this malware to someone's computer, it's going to work like that, meaning to cause modification. And this is an unauthorized modification. So in that situation, yeah, what is the offense? It is an offense under Section 5. What about hacking? Can we also impose Section 3 or Section 4? That depends. How did he get the virus into the computer? Yeah, some people, what he did was he entered into the system and then leave the virus there. So there is an issue of unauthorized access plus unauthorized modification, isn't it? So with some other people, technically it is different. They don't need to enter into the system. What they did was they send a link. So hoping that the person in that system, in that company, click that link from the company system, and then the moment it is clicked, it is activating the virus. So there is unauthorized modification, but there is no unauthorized access. Yeah, there is no in that situation. So you have to be very critical and analytical. Yeah, which section will apply? I think I highlighted to you, especially for this topic. It is also important for you to understand. Yeah, especially for the purpose of final exam, to understand these offenses. Okay. Next is wrongful communication, Section 6. This is very straightforward. Section 6 says that if you are entrusted, you're having a password or PIN code or access code, whatever code, which is an access code only for you, then you must not leak it to other person because it is an offense. Yeah. So if I have, for example, I'm an administrator of IAUM website admin, website administrating web page. Not everyone can enter because otherwise they can change all the website content. I have it because I'm working with the IT, but then I share this password to other people who are not supposed to have it, and then this person will have that password. So the act of sharing that password alone is an offense of wrongful communication, Section 6. What if that person, after getting the password from me, he used it to enter into IAUM access, IAUM system? Is there any other offense? Yes, there is another offense, which is unauthorized access, because he is not supposed to be there, even though he has a password, but he is not supposed to access it. So there is another offense of unauthorized access. So we have these 4 substantive offenses. Please understand them well, and you can get back to me if there is any doubt to clarify. Section 7, this is a normal situation, yeah, in any offense. If somebody attempted to do it or to abet someone, meaning help somebody to do it, so Section 7 is there. Inchoate offenses, we call it. Yeah, this is already there. Someone who helps somebody to kill a person, then he will be guilty under abetment of murder. He is not the one who killed, but he is the one who helped. Or he is trying to kill someone, so this is called attempt. Yeah, attempt to murder. So the same thing. If someone try to hack, to intrude, but unsuccessfully, but he could already be guilty of an attempt of unaddressed access. Last provision I like to highlight from this CCA 97 is the extraterritorial application. This is very interesting, brothers and sisters. Why? Because even though the hacker or the intruder comes from Singapore, from Thailand, from Bangladesh, yeah, or from Iran, as long as he did the act to enter into the computer system based in Malaysia, then it is considered an offense under the CCA. Why? Because it extends to extraterritorial application, which means even if it is done from outside the country, yeah, it is an offense. And not all Not all statutes are like that, but this statute, because it is very possible that cybercrime comes from outside the country, then whoever did it, will be subject to the crime. But then how we catch them, how we arrest them, that is another issue lah. There's another issue. Try to get the person into Malaysia, cuti Malaysia. So the moment he touched down in KLIA, get Sundar and his team to arrest. That can be done. I mean, that is an issue of enforcement, investigation, and so on. Yeah, but in terms of substantive offense, it is already an offense, even though he did it from outside the country. Yeah. So we have few cases, few examples of cases from the past. Not many. I highlight to you, from English cases. Please read on your own about hacking, about modifications. Somebody send virus, somebody change or destroy the email system. Please read this. And there is this one, 2 ATMs hacked, 500,000 missing in 8 hours. This happened in Malaysia several years ago, in 2014. So somebody who hacked the ATM system, this you can use section 4. Why? Because it is unauthorized access. It's not supposed to intrude into the ATM system, but he may use some methods, either faking the card or maybe by some technical method. He went into the ATM system and able to release money because of that. So section 4. Why section 4? Because there is unauthorized access plus further offense. Plus further offense. Okay, remember, if there is plus further offense, you use section 4. If there is no further offense, you just use section 3. Okay, we have few more cases. Please read. Also, somebody who changed the land titles in land office also got a case under the Computer Crimes Act. We have few examples. Okay, I think the CMA, we are not going to cover it because it is considered covered under the content regulation last time. We mentioned about this. It's okay. So we are not going to cover this more specifically. Okay. Next time we will talk about Cybercrime Convention. But I mentioned to you earlier that we have this convention. Let me just highlight to you. Okay. This is not a very up-to-date. Okay. Just highlight to you very quickly. In November 2001 in Budapest, Hungary, it started with 38 countries, signatories. It all actually very much centered with European countries, but then it started to widen. So far, it goes to Philippines, as close as Philippines. But Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Bangladesh, we have not really ratified it. So this is one good initiative. However, it is not simply agreeable because some countries are very reluctant due to the fact that it was too European centric. Please read more on this. No, I think I will leave you to read on your own, but you already get the idea about this. This is a very good convention because if you become a member, then you get cooperation between all the countries in terms of enforcement, in terms of investigations, and even technical assistance. Maybe like police from here will also cooperate with police from the other country in order to catch an offender. So please go to this conventions.coe.int to know more about this. This is the objective. You see, criminalizing the conduct. Then you have a common procedural tools and international cooperation. As far as the offenses, they are quite similar, but it is wider than the CCA. You see the left side, down there are some substantive offenses which are considered as an offense under the convention. Illegal access, they use the word illegal access. In our CCA 97, we use the word unauthorized access. Okay, so they are the same actually. Illegal access, illegal interception, data interference, system interference, misuse of devices, fraud and forgery, and child pornography. And latest, they also try to include hate speech, including hate speech as well as terrorism, cyber terrorism. I want you to specifically read on this and then come up with the answer for my question. Do you think it is good for Malaysia to join? What are the pros and the cons? Actually, I have them here, over here, concern, benefits of participation. But I want you to be able to understand it very clearly, yeah? So you may want to start by reading this slide and then go to further reading materials. Why is it, do you think it is good for Malaysia to adopt, yeah? And then why not and why yes? Okay, I'm done with it. This is the questions that you need to have in your mind when you read Susan Brenner's article. What do the authors mean by distributed security? How is the concept different from traditional security? Who should play what roles to address cybercrime? And do you think it will provide an effective measures in preventing cybercrime and enforcing the law? Argue why and why not. Yeah, please read on this. Then we conclude the issue of cybercrime. Any quick question? I'm going to share with you all the material, all the relevant materials, yeah. And like Suryati, you need to. I still remember now, but later on, in case there is no news, I will please remind me about the past year exam question. Yeah, is there any question? Okay. Then we are done, yeah. Okay then. Don't worry, this is also recorded, so you can always get back to this. Thank you for your participation. Anything? I hope one thing also, you just keep on doing your assignments, yeah, because it is supposed to be a big assignment. So don't leave it until end of the semester. Only then you will start. But only the time is already very short now. We will see. Because now I consider that. I mean, if you really need some extension, we will extend it even after the exam. Because the exam is early. I didn't know the exam will be early. So if the exam is early, maybe you want to focus on the exam first. Then I'll give you some time, like 1 week after the exam, yeah, for your paper. Does it sound good?
Yeah, Prof.
Yes, Prof.
Yes,
I get,
I appreciate
I get a strong yes from everyone, is it?
Yes, Prof. Thank you.
Some people did already some substantial work. I think Amirul, yeah, did substantial work. So I give you more time so you will be able to, to do it like 1 week after the final exam, because I heard the final exam will be early. Okay, we will be done for today. Thank you, and please do your own readings and catching up. Yeah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you very much, Prof.
Thank you, Prof.